Okay, so hopefully, as I get started here, you guys will be able to see me trying to keep an eye on my site, but I'm going to go ahead and... Okay, so hopefully, as I get started here, good. That's up and running. Awesome. Where's my OBS at? Perfect. All right. So today I'm just spending a little bit of time working on terrain, and I thought I would invite some of you gorgeous people to chill out with me while I do, because I love doing this. I love making terrain, and I love being able to share my building with people. So today I'm going to be, I've been working on a lot of projects lately, but today I'm going to be building some Razorwire fence, and as you can see, I took two different types. It's a project I'm working on because I'm rebuilding some of my terrain. Took two spools of wire, a thicker one and a thinner one, and I ran them together, basically twisting them together, but I used a power drill to spin them together like that. So let's go see if I can get my Twitch back up. That way I can be aware if other people are on, and it'll be awesome. Twitch TV, fantastic. Because I want to be able to chat with people if they are up for it. My channel at. So anyways, I'm going to be working on doing the bases here, but I've got some drilling and other stuff like that to do. So as I do the bases like this, this was an accidental hole that I put in here, so I had to re-drill the two. I've got some drilling and other stuff like that to do. So as I do the bases like this, this was an accidental hole that I put in here, so I had to re-drill the two. I've got some drilling and other stuff like that. And mute this. There we go. Alright, so my next thing, keep on drilling holes. I'm going to guesstimate this. I went out and I bought this, let me go ahead and bring this up. I went out and I bought this wood pile. They're supposedly popsicle sticks, but they're not exactly the same size as a popsicle stick. I mean, you can see the difference here. This is just a stir stick I've been using. But anyways, you know, they're good enough to hold up and support when I glue these together. This is going to be snipped a lot shorter, as you guys can see. I'm going to be doing 4 bases today, and so I'm going to start on the other one, drilling in my guide holes for the posts. I don't do the most safety here, but I have drilled my hand just a little bit before once, but it was only a little bit, and you can't even see the scar. So I just make sure my hand's out of the way anymore. Handy dandy drills out of the way, and now that I've got these on the backs here, as you can see, they've got some sticking through from where the drill went through. So I'm just take my hand sander or my hand grinder here, you can get Home Depot. I'm gonna take that back off, back off, back off. Alright, so now the posts should go in. However, each post is only really going to need to be half height. So I'm going to go ahead and snip it about halfway. I could measure it, but I've done this enough that it doesn't really show up otherwise. And so I just eyeball it, and in the end, I'm getting 2 posts about like that, which is pretty good. Go ahead and use some Loctite super glue. I love this stuff. Right around the base, but looks like I've got a little bit of a clog. Whenever the super glue dries around the tip like that, I just take a pair of snips, and I don't snip the tip off. I just pinch it, and I just kind of work it from different angles. I just try and break it up in the center. You could do it with pliers also. Doesn't really matter, but it just has to bend the tip and work out that glue. Worst case scenario, I'll take a piece of the wire here, stick it down inside, push it all the way through, try and get that gunk bead out of the way. You can already see one. Just need a little bit. And then just bleed around the edge just a tiny bit. Just like that, just dabs. Just like that. Just wanting the post to be secure to the base. Do a couple more. Take them, snip them in half. Later on, I might want to shorten these just a little bit, but I just want to get them into their sockets for right now. So like I said, I'm going to do 4. Razorwire. Man, I build this terrain because I get sick of spending so much money on all of the other terrain types that are out there. And building is really fun. I mean, whenever you get into like a tabletop war game, you really get into it for, in my opinion, for either playing, like you actually like the gameplay, or you really like to paint, or you really like to mod. I mean, I had a friend named Anson that I used to run another business with that I was in Alaska called Kingdom, and he was one of the best mods that I've ever seen. He used to just take minis and he would chop them and he would rearrange them and he would just make something entirely new out of them. I loved getting into games like Warhammer 40K because I really loved being able to build the terrain and stuff like that. I'm going to move the camera up just a little bit because I can see that some of the work that I'm doing isn't being shown on the camera. I'm trying to be as close as possible. Down just a little bit more. There we go. Hopefully that'll be about right. But for me, I got into this game because I absolutely stinking love the making of terrain. And so that's why when I decided to start selling it, making it and selling it, and that was a couple years ago. I've done it off and on, but I'm getting back into it again because I've got some time and just enjoy doing the work. So oh, man, I love water. So as you can see behind me, there's a lot of what I do for a living is, you know, tilt it back up so that you can see. Oh, that's the wrong camera. All of this gaming stuff. This is my gaming garage that I have here. And so this is what I do for business. And this is where I like to build. Go back to the other camera and see if I can get it back just as where I want it to be. That's a good angle. That's about right. Alright. But yeah, I enjoy doing this stuff. A lot. Okay, so some of these pegs, in my opinion, are too high for even the Razorwire. Now again, I make them in long strips like this. I'm obviously going to cut them down. But I'm just doing a measurement right now, and I don't think the post should be this high. So I'm going to go ahead and clip a little bit more off of them to make them reasonable. Make them a little bit lower to the ground so that they look good. Woo, get those snips out of there. I like live streaming the work that I get to do. I like to believe that Someone's out there watching. I can see that somebody is tuned in, which is fantastic. I don't know if it says who it is, but one of you is watching right now, which is awesome. So, hello to you, awesome person who's watching. I'm going to switch my camera. It doesn't let me know who you are, but hi, I see that you are watching down below. Maybe one day I can figure out if it'll tell me who it is. So anyways, back to these. I am now going to start sprawling out, measuring. All of this stuff is just about what looks right. I mean, really, when I put these posts in, I had to just pull out different drills and different drill bits until I could find a secure site. So there's a lot of failure in this until you get it right. I've built a couple hundred of these, well, probably about 100 of these, and so I know by now a lot of this just by fit, but even now, as I decide the length of this, what is supposed to be razor wire, I'm just going to pull it apart and decide that I'm going to work with about that much, because I think that looks good. Snip it there, set the excess aside, and then I'm going to stretch it out just a tiny bit. And so the nice thing about this is I know it's the right length when it kind of holds on its own. But it wants to pull apart anyways, so I'm just going to pinch. No pliers, just pinch. And so that's a piece of razor wire, okay? This is just for people to crawl over, crawl under, and it's good to set up on the board because then you basically, your troops can't get around it. I mean, if I have a guy, it's like this big, you can see the height there. It just creates an obstacle on the board. Now, before I glue this in here, I could decide if I wanted to paint this post or not. And I used to, but I'm not going to anymore because I think it still just looks more natural with the wood. So I'm just going to go ahead and glue it in. Which will be nice. Mr. Mike, my roommate, just walked in. He's probably going to play some League. How's it going, Mike? I'm twitching my my building. Hopefully that won't affect the playing League too much. Just let me know if it will. I don't think it will. I think I did it before and it didn't affect anything. There we go. Now right here, just because I'm a perfectionist, there's this tiny little piece of metal coming out. I'm going to go ahead and snip that. Even just the tiny piece right there so that it looks good. And so now this is the first one. It's done right here. It's not done. I still have to obviously put basing on it and other stuff like that, which is cool. But these other four I'll set aside. So I'm going to show you how I'm doing this one first. The next thing that I want to do is I need to put a mud base on here. Now, the mud base that I do is a mixture of dirt and Elmer's glue, which is really simple. So I'm actually going to switch cameras, pull away from the table real quick, and you'll get a chance to see what I'm talking about. Oh, wait a minute. I don't have to switch cameras. I can just point you over here. Okay. So over here in my dirt drawer,